Party settings. Oh, okay, it's already set to allow, so we should be good. Yeah.
Hey, everybody. EC Rooster here of TheOrdinaryGamer.com, along with, as always, Mr. Ender the Foe, or Foe Ender, who hates his name because when we play online, everyone calls him Foe as opposed to Ender. There have been many complaints. How you doing today, Ender?
That's one of those things. I used to think that everybody knew that those, first three letters in front of your name that are all capital are your clan tag. I guess that's just the way we used to play back in the day. Mm-hmm. But everybody just calls me Foe now. I'm good. How are you doing?
I've been sick. This is why we haven't broadcast for the past week. We completely missed our last broadcast. I'm gonna blame you, but really I was sick. But I'd rather blame Foe over there as opposed to. I'll blame Foe. I won't blame Ender, but I'll blame Foe as the cause of all of our woes.
Screw that guy.
Apparently,
man.
I'm a rapper.
Screw that guy.
Screw that Foe guy. All right. Well, today we'll be playing Evolve, which just came out on I believe it was the 10th. I am so out of it. Evolve on the 10th, but Turtle Rock Studios.
Grab the audio so that I can put this out like on SoundCloud or something. You guys can just put it on your MP3 player when you're in your car or whatever. That's when I listen to a lot of this kind of stuff, so I figured that I would put it out there for you guys the same way.
See, Ender has a heart. I give one crap if you can hear me or not. Because I hear myself just fine, and I like to just hear myself talk. So I don't think about listening to others or if other people can listen to me. I just kind of just ramble. And that's what I'm going to be doing today with Evolve. You're going to be watching me play single player because I've also learned, Ender, the one smart thing about what Foe over there has said is that when you're playing and you're talking, sometimes you can't do both at once. It's like walking and chewing gum at the same time. And I'd rather not play online and completely get my team butchered, especially because I tend to like to play as the medic. Everyone will just die over and over. I'd like to go on that for a second. I ordered the game. I won't name the company. We'll just call them Sealing Mart. And I ordered it from them as opposed to Amazon, which is who I normally go through. And they promised me delivery of the game on the day it was released, which was February 10th. I ordered it like February 6th or 5th or something. Pre-order it finally. Because I was like, okay, I'm going to get this game. It's going to come to my door. And I was so excited because I'm so lazy. I hate driving my car. I didn't want to go to the store. I was like, it'll just come to my door. I'll be great. And they didn't deliver it till the 10th from like Minneapolis, Minnesota or something like that. So I didn't get the game until like the 13th, I believe. 13th or 14th. It was a Valentine's Day
present. There's a Walmart everywhere. There's a Walmart
Sealing
everywhere.
Mart. Sealing Mart. We don't want to get sued. Sealing Mart.
It's Sealing Mart.
Sealing Mart. We don't want to name the company, the massive company that completely screwed me over. Yeah, you would think, what I was so mad about is I'm sitting here at home, already paid for the game, and I knew for a fact that all I had to do was go up the street to Sealing Mart, and I could buy it in person. And I could have even had store pickup, but I just thought when they said it'll be delivered on the 10th, that they would deliver it to me. I thought that's what delivered meant. I thought delivered meant you will receive the package. Apparently they meant, no, we'll deliver it on the 10th. You'll get it whenever. Go screw yourself. That's what I think they meant. Apparently I don't know how to read the fine print. That's why I need a lawyer when I do anything.
Yeah, but, you gotta go with Amazon for stuff like that. Amazon makes...
But
it's just like the eBay aspect of it.
Yeah, that's the only problem with Amazon. But as far as like for me though, because I know how to avoid that because I'm not 4, and it's not my first online experience. Apparently, it seems like it though. My first online experience was Sealing Mart. But with Amazon, yeah, they're usually great. But here's the problem. I finally get the game, and this is what, and you know how much I hate this. There was a 3 GB patch, day 1 release for Evolve. to help with, I think, the online matchmaking. Which I will say, I don't see how 3 gigabytes is just online. They had to have added something else to the game. They're not telling us in that patch.
My guess is that if they had not have put that 3 gigabyte patch out the day one, they probably would have had problems like what's that, Master Chief Collection. They still can't. They have so many matchmaking problems. They can't play the game online. They probably would have had. They hadn't have gone ahead and done that patch. Now the question is, did they know they were going to have to patch it and put the game out anyway, thinking we'll just patch it, or is it something that they found after they shipped? Which seems kind of weird to find that after they shipped.
It is kind of a strange thing to be like, and I think it came out the day, I think you told me about it actually. You said, hey, there's going to be a patch. You're like 2 days before it was actually released. You're like February 8th, you said, oh, by the way, there's going to be like a 3 gigabyte patch apparently on day 1 release. And of course, all I did was sigh for like an hour. I was like, oh my god. You know, you were continuing trying to like educate me, and I was just like, at that point, I was just done. But beyond the patch, which luckily I have pretty decent internet, so I actually downloaded it in probably 30 minutes. I mean, and also I guess, luckily because of Sealing Mart, the patch didn't feel as bad because I was already so burnt out with waiting for this game that I was like, fine, I don't care, whatever, might as well happen, 3 more gigabytes, whatever. It's just one of those days, you know. I was like, whatever, I'm done. Do whatever you want to me, world. I don't care. I have no dignity anymore, kind of attitude about it. But the beta, the Battlefield beta, which you abhorred. You hated that so much. Like
I wasn't bored. I did not like it. I know some people may love that, but I did not enjoy that game at all. Somewhere around first there was this, obviously the signing up. What company is that? Like EA.
Yeah.
That was a pain in the ass. But then, like, somewhere around the 5th or 6th time that I got shot by some guy laying down a block away, and he looks like a dot on my screen. I was like, screw this, you know, that's how it comes out, and I'm not gonna do that.
But yeah, Valve has been great. I'm having a great time with it. We have our review up on theordinarygamer.com. I just put it up today because I have been sick once again. And sick to me also means lazy. I think people should understand when I say I'm sick, it also means I'm not doing anything. Like, you know, there could be a wedding or a funeral. I'll be like, I'm sick. I don't feel like doing it. Whatever. It'll be fine. Like, I'll get them next time. You know, I'll get their next funeral, their next wedding. I guess that's how I think about it. But yeah. Speaking of patches, though, I also want to complain about this because this is the show where I just complain about everything. Dying Light, which anyone who watches knows that I platinumed that trophy. I was very proud of it. Like I said, I sent Ender a big giant card made of glitter. It was actually kind of gloating. I was actually kind of gloating because you've platinumed the Telltale games, Walking Dead.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
And see, I haven't platinumed anything. And I needed to beat Ender because Ender just got 32 in Destiny. I wanted to beat him. He got it first. I had the game before you, and I'm so mad about that. So I had to like at least get this platinum. And of course, you know, they finally, anyways, Techland puts out a patch for Dying Light to fix what is the whole story trophy, which is like glitched for everybody. And I already have 100% on the game. I get online, super excited to find out this patch is there. I download the patch, I get online, and it doesn't fix jack squat. I still have 79% of the game complete, even though I technically have 100% of the game complete. If I go online and take screenshots, you will see it says 100% for everything. So, here's the thing. If I'm going to get a 3 gigabyte patch on day 1, if I'm going to get a patch from anybody, and you're already making me, you know how much I hate patches, how much gamers hate patches, at least make your damn patch work. I mean, I don't understand what is wrong. Like, I'm already, like, paying $60 for a game. I'm already, like, I'm so, like, trying to kill this monster right now. I don't want to go on and on about my hatred of patches, but, I mean, what the hell? Like, I don't understand how you, quote-unquote, patch something when it doesn't fix anything. I'm so mind-blown right now how much I hate...
After talking to you about that, I think what they did was the patch is going to fix it for people that go through it after the patch. But I think once you've already completed the game before the patch, you're screwed. Because there's no way for them to go through and fix that. You know what I mean?
But I mean, how hard is it to just design your program to read your numbers? Because it already keeps your stats. That's the thing. Online it says how much story have you completed. You can go to your extras in the options menu. And it says 75% of the story, 85% of the story. I have 100% of the story. I have 100% of the collectibles. Like, the numbers are there. They just need something to read the numbers that says how much have they done. You know, like that's
okay, so the numbers are there on the you say the online.
Yeah, the numbers are there. They're saved. They're already archived. What you've done. It's just not reading it for some reason. And they patch it, yeah, and if they do what you said, where they're just kind of retroactively, or not retroactively, they're just like patching it for the future, the future players, well then, you know, us people who have already, because there's a lot of us who've already, you know, 100%ed the game, a lot of people are complaining about this. Why can't you already create something that just reads it, because it already keeps the stats? Like, that makes, I'm not playing your game again. I'm just going to put it that way. Here's the thing, I actually enjoyed the game. I thought Dying Light was really fun, and I think it is fun. But I've already put like 30 plus hours into it, 200% this game. And as weird as it sounds, I would still play the game if everything was fixed. But now that it's not fixed, I don't want to play it. Like, I'm like, I don't want to play this. I'm done. Like, I don't want to do it now because I'm forced to. I don't know if there's something about force with me. You know, I mean, I'll have to ask my dominatrix, you know, if I have a problem with it or something, but... Oh, shit.
I don't know, man.
I don't know, I'm done. But anyways, speaking of game length, 40 hours on Dying Light to make me want to play again. Did you hear about, apparently, you know more about this than I do, The Order, which is going to be released February 20th. Apparently...
Right, so a couple of days ago, the footage, somebody got the game early somehow. I don't know if it was... I've read online that it could have been a torrent, but my understanding was that it's not a PC, so it would have to be a PS4 copy, and I don't see that you can't hack a PS4, so that doesn't seem right. My guess is he went to a mom and pop store, or he works at Hastings or whatever, and got a copy of the game, and it shipped in there, or somebody sold it, you know, early on accident. But he played through it, and he did an entire walkthrough of it up on YouTube, and the entire thing, he did it in several parts, you know, but the entire thing adds up hours of game, and a lot of people are pretty upset about it. Now, a lot of people watch it through. It's not up on YouTube anymore for those. Yeah, it's a matter of perspective, I guess. Like, some of us might be upset about that, and that is a lot of money, $60. Or some of us might say, well, you know, I want to play a game that I can beat without having to put 100 hours into it, you know? And then, you know, there's a lot of different ways to look at it. Like, an average game, let's say 10 to... Right?
Can you repeat that?
So, like,
sorry.
An average game might have, like, what, 10 or 20 hours of gameplay? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I've already put in over 100. Does that mean that I should be paying more money? Do I owe Bungie money now because I played more than 10 or 20 hours? You can't argue it that way, then you shouldn't be able to argue it in the other way. You know what I mean?
That, you know, you can't essentially define a game's worth by the amount of time you put into it. Is that what you're trying to...
Yeah, it's the quality of the gameplay, and you know, that might be the best 5-hour game you will ever play. You know what I mean? You never know.
Like, my opinion on it is, I will say I do agree with you that I think the quality of a game, like, you can find an indie game which will only give you 8 hours of play, but you'll pay, you know, $15 for it, and you'll feel like it's the greatest $15 you ever spent. You can find a game like, you know, you pay $60 for, and you feel like maybe, yeah, you know, it's the greatest game I've ever played. But my thing is, I'm looking at it as a capitalist. You have a market, and the average market is an 8 to 10 hour game. That seems to be like most people say. Like, when they say how long is the game, and when a company says 8 hours, most people go, okay, 8 hours seems like the average, essentially, the market average. So I think people kind of say $60 is worth 8 hours minimum. Now the extra stuff, that just means you made a better game. That just means, you know, you went the extra mile. But I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like the problem with them is not their game. It's not that they want 5 to 6 hours, if it's even true, by the way. It's not just that. It's that there's, you know, every other game is 8 hours, you know, at least.
Yeah,
but
if you look at they have, you know, statistics. It's pretty easy to look through. Like, you can look at your trophies and see how many people have gotten and stuff like that. So developers look through the statistics for gaming on consoles, and for those average games or longer games or all games put together, the average number of people that beat them is like, it was something ridiculous, like less than 10% of people actually beat games that they play, that they buy.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe a 5-hour game is what everybody needs so they can actually finish it.
You know, that's so funny you say that, because yeah, I never thought about it that way. That like, because gamers are so freaking lazy. Like they'll buy a game, they'll pay. Like, you know what, gamers? Yeah, this is your fault. Now, Ender's completely convinced me. It's completely all of y'all's fault, because you go out there, you pay $60 for an 8-hour game. You only put 2 hours into it anyways, and you get back on and play Call of Duty. And so, you know, you don't even complete your games. How dare you complain about paying $60 for a 6-hour game, which might be the one game you actually complete this year, because it's so short. Like, you know what, you're right. Like, you're absolutely right. Never even thought. Like, yeah, you know, Titanfall didn't even have a single-player mode, and they said the reason they did not put one on there was because something like only like 8% of gamers actually complete an actual story mode. Exactly. And so, since the Order is a single-player only game, they're trying to maybe balance that. We're like, okay, since we're single-player only, what's the best single-player experience that the 8% can get? You know, so really they're speaking to the lowest common denominator. So we shouldn't blame Ready at Dawn Studios for a 6-hour game. We should blame lazy-ass gamers for allowing it to happen as a viable option, because, you know, somebody read a market report, somebody in the publishing, and said, yeah, 6 hours, that you know, gamers, that's enough. They're lazy. That's what they want. Like, it's completely democracy. They're just, you know, you got to remember, a market is always trying to appease its consumer base. So 6-hour game to me, yeah. I never thought about that way. That's an interesting point. That's an interesting point. However, I will counter everything that we just said, that apparently one of the developers, an unnamed developer, did get on about the rumors, and he said that they tested at Ready at Dawn, and they said it's an 8 to 10 hour game on like the normal settings, and a 12+ hour game on hard settings during their testing. So 5 hours to them is not feasible. But
so that the guy that put the video up was probably playing on the easiest setting, and had probably already played it through one time, and was just trying to get through it to be able to have.
Yeah, see, that's what I wonder.
Upload to YouTube. Yeah,
because I know that. Yeah, I've played games like Dying Light, for example. The story mode itself is only like something like 11 missions or something like that, and each mission takes 8 to 15 minutes. To be honest with you, so you can actually go through and beat the quote unquote story in probably, you know, 3 hours. But because there's so much, you know, peripheral things to do in the game, which is like most games, that you don't feel like you end up putting 60 hours into a game when you really could. Like, I bet you if we went through right now and you and I did a marathon on the Bungie actual story mode, we could beat it in 3 hours. You know what I mean? Like, if we started from like the beginning of the game, we could beat it in probably 3 to 4 hours. But of course, we put in countless hours into the game because there's so much more to do. Now, I'm not saying the Order will be like that, because I don't know. I haven't played it. It's not released yet. It's going to be released February 20th. But I'm pretty sure they have, you know, unlockables. They have things you have to do. I'm sure there's a lot to do in the game that's more than 5 hours. But I don't know.
Yeah. Honestly, I probably won't pick it up when it first comes out. Not because of the whole 5-hour thing, just because the game looks okay, but I think that's one that I want to see some reviews for first, or maybe let it get down on price a little bit first. Mm-hmm.
I'm probably still gonna get it because I just like I like Victorian era stuff. I like steampunk things. I like gadgetry.
That's your review is one that I'll listen to. So if you play it and you say, "Hey, this is a good game, get it," then I'll probably pick it up.
I don't know why you would put that much stock in anything I say, but I appreciate that. Anyone out there, yeah, there will be a review up on The Ordinary Gamer. Once again, I keep plugging our website, but I'm just going to say it again. The Ordinary Gamer. I like saying it. I like saying theordinarygamer.com. It's like my favorite thing to say. Like, usually when I'm making love, that's what I whisper into, okay, I don't make love. Like, so I'm lying. First off, this is a lie. But if it were true, I would totally whisper theordinarygamer.com into my lover's ear. But, if I had that. But we'll continue on. You brought up something again. This has kind of been going on now for probably about a year. It's the Gamergate, is what they call it. But recently
that's a movement, I guess, or whatever you want to call that. But yeah, that's still ongoing, all over Twitter and on different games websites and stuff like that. No, but go ahead.
But you mentioned apparently there was a big. It's been brought back to the public light because Law and Order, I think SVU, or you know more. Like I believe you were telling me that they did a show, and you know they like to rip their show ideas from actual real headlines. And apparently one of the this recent episode was about a girl who was like bullied and harassed for being a female and being an online gamer. And apparently, gamers are up in arms about it now, right? You said something that a lot of them are upset.
The thing is, okay, so this is supposedly like the inspiration for that episode or whatever was supposed to come from the whole issue that Anita Sarkeesian, I don't remember how to say her last name, but all the problems that she was having because she's been vocally trying to, I guess, promote having women characters in games or something like that. I don't follow her. I think what made is through capitalism. If you want a game a certain way, you buy the games that are that kind of game, and when those games make money, then other developers make more of that game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Tomb Raider, perfect example. Great girl. Didn't even realize I was playing as a girl in that game. I just knew I was playing as a badass, and I didn't have to stop to think about the gender of the characters in the game. I'm Hispanic. I don't go through and count how many brown-colored gamer people are in the game, you know, and then start a petition. That just seems stupid to me. Just play the game, you know. But anyways, so it's drawn from her experience. Well, she got a death threat. I say experiences. She received some death threats, from what I understand. Now that TV episode of SVU, the girl in that is like she's raped and stalked and by like some crazy intelligent guys that are outsmarting the police even. That it seems pretty. It's made for television, obviously. It's not realistic, obviously. But so after that came out, some game developers, I believe Matt Kern was heading it, started a petition blaming for other devs to sign, for other game developers to sign, but where basically they're just blaming games journalism for making all this Gamergate stuff big enough to where it hit the mainstream, and now all gamers are kind of smeared with this whole what's the word I'm looking for? A bad image for gamers in general, basically, is what they're saying.
Yeah.
And then so a guy from one of the writers from a games journalist, should I name it, BG247, he wrote an article basically saying that it's not their fault for the huge community problems in gaming. And so I'm reading this whole thing, I'm like, okay, so those developers are signing a petition saying that it's the developers' fault, or the games journalists' fault for the bad image that gamers have, and the games journalists are saying it's not our fault that there's a problem in the gaming community. And the whole time I'm sitting here as a gamer thinking, well, screw you guys, you know? Maybe there isn't a problem in video games and video game gamer communities, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Maybe there's just crazy people out there, everywhere. Doesn't matter where you are, doesn't matter what you're doing. If they're a big enough group, there's gonna be some crazy people. They're not crazy because they're gamers. They're crazy because they're crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just stupid. So I was pretty kind of offended by the whole thing. Like, both of them are saying there's a big problem here. It's a dumb TV show. You know, I mean, some people watch it. Yeah, my wife watches it. I like it occasionally, but I mean, it's not like I'm gonna watch that and say, "Turn that damn PlayStation off." You know, that's stupid. Everybody knows it's a TV show. You know, It's not real. This doesn't really hurt gamers. It's not like people are gonna stop becoming gamers or being gamers because of some TV show.
Well, my attitude is like, how does it like, what reputation? Like, reputation is not currency for a video. Like, you're anonymous when you're online. So even if you're a gamer, like, what do you actually lose? Even if everyone said gamers are like bad, I mean, what? Like, who is really? I mean, unless maybe there's a kid whose parents won't buy them games now, you know, so it hurts the kid gamer. But I don't see how most adults are hurt by you know, a reputation of being bad. I will say I'm not nearly as knowledgeable about this as you are. I know my gut impression is this: gamers are mean, and I don't mean gamers in the general sense. I mean, if you were going to play online and you were going to be around people are mean. That's how I really should say it. People can be mean.
Well,
anybody.
The lobby douche. Every game has a lobby douche, right? You know, you get in the lobby, and then right when that screen comes up on Call of Duty where you can't see who's talking and you can't mute anybody, somebody will inevitably scream into the mic as loud as they can until that moment is past, and then they're quiet, you know? Or somebody gets in there and throws out the N-word, or, you know what I mean? It's just, they're lobby douches. That happens. But I think that's the way internet is altogether. That's not just gamers. If you go on a forum, you're going to meet trolls out there left and right. You know, it's about knowing who's a troll and who's an idiot. You know
I mean, if you go into a boardroom, you're going to hear sexist comments. Actually, here's an anecdote, and this has nothing to. My point is, it's not that. My point is, anybody can be an asshole. This is my anecdote. What it's going to tell you. I was on vacation down in a place called Savannah, Georgia. It's known for like a historical place, and I was down there on vacation with my girlfriend at the time, and we went to this kind of upscale restaurant on River Street. That as soon as we walked in, we were immediately out of place, because anybody knows me, I'm like a young, like, I wear leather, and, you know, like, I have tattoos. I'm just like, whatever. I'm totally like, I'm Paul Rudd from Strange with Candy. I'm just aloof all the time, just leaning on lockers, just like, whatever. But so I walk in, and it's like nothing but business guys, you know. So, you know, I stand out a bit because I look like I'm 12, by the way. And also, I mean, I'm almost 30, but I look like I'm 12. And so I walk in, and there's all these guys who are like, you know, they're the men, you know, they play racquetball, and they have boats probably, and, you know, so like they're all sitting around, they're eating their lobster and steak, you know, and I sit down like this meek little like guy with tattoos, this artist kid with crazy hair, and I'm sitting there eating, and they're avoiding me because they're not just avoiding me. They don't care that I exist, and I think that's just how they're wired. Like, these are business guys who are like, you're not a human because you don't wear a suit. Like, just get out of the way, ant. You know, that's how it was. And so I'm sitting down. Nobody's bothering me, so that's the good thing. But I can kind of hear everyone's conversation because the tables are close together. And there's this group of like 3 men, and they're business guys. I mean, you just know when you see them. And they were actually probably nearing 50. Like, these were the older business guys. These are the guys who, they're business veterans at this point. They might even be CEOs. I mean, I don't know. But they had that swagger, and I kind of pick up on their conversation. And they're just like dogging women. Like, just, it's like they had nothing to talk about. It's like because they don't collect cars, they were like, well, let's talk about how much we hate women. That seemed like the thing they wanted to talk about. And my attitude is this: they have a right to be assholes. If they want to sit there and dog women, that's fine. Now, they have a responsibility, though, if they raise children, to teach their children to be polite human beings. I highly doubt they will, because assholes usually don't do that. But if they don't like women, they have a right not to like women. You can be a misogynist, just like you can not be a misogynist. You have that right. You have to be responsible with your right, which means don't go around beating women. Don't go around actually taking away women's rights in the social sphere. But your personal opinion is your personal opinion. So, I mean, I was like, whatever. It's their conversation, so technically, you know, I can't have an opinion on it. But of course, so I had an opinion on it. And my point is like, these guys were people who were probably highly respected. They probably have several women who work under them. And they're just assholes. And the reason I bring this anecdote is like, you're going to play video games, and just like that, just like anywhere in life, if they're business guys, if they're pastors at a church, if they're teachers, they're assholes. There's a possibility that they're going to be assholes. So this woman, this woman who's going to get death threats, the thing is, gaming is what made her noticed. She's just this person who got these death threats. I don't know her name, but you kind of know her name. It was her being a gamer that made men more likely to notice her. So her status as a female in games and a personality is what made her a target, as well as her being a female.
Well, her stance. Like I was saying, you know, capitalism is how games are made. You know, you buy a game, you support it with your wallet if you want more of that game. But she's like, kind of, from what I understand, kind of shaming developers into putting more women into games.
Yeah, which you can't do, because that's what happens while you're shaming. This is how, and I'm not saying this is right. I'm saying this is what happens because when you start, I'm not saying I disagree with women in games. There should be, I think there should be females in games, but I don't think it should be forced.
I have no problem with it at all. Exactly.
It should be.
The moment it becomes forced, it's like, what are we doing here? What are we doing?
It's gaming affirmative action, essentially. Now, will I say there's a lack of minorities as yeah, there is. There's a lack of minority heroes. There's a lack of female heroes. But I also think we talked about Tomb Raider, I never even would have thought Lara Croft was a female when I played the new Tomb Raider. That had nothing to do with it. She was just a good character. She was a character. And what that taught me was, even though my sensibilities are a certain way, that game also did really well. What it taught me was that, here's the truth, if you just make a badass game, you can make it a freaking donkey as the lead character. Nobody gives a damn if the game's fun. Like, I'm not trying to say women are donkeys, I'm saying it doesn't matter. Like, as long as you... Like, oh, here's a great example. I'm playing Evolve right now. Half the characters are female. There's black characters, there's Asian characters, there's Hispanic characters in this game, and I don't even think about that. I mean, I'm thinking about it now for topic sense, but playing it?
Yeah. See, I would argue that those people that are saying that there's sexism in games because there's not enough women in there are the ones that are sexist because they're the ones that actually took the time to notice that there was I wouldn't have even thought of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed which takes place in France, have more Hispanics in it, more Mexicans.
I mean, should we get mad as Americans that it even takes place in France and be like, what the hell? You know, exactly. I'm American, I want to play. Right. Like, so, the issue is this.
The whole thing is dumb to me. I don't know.
Well, my issue is that it's different if a game is exploiting, like if the game character is like treating women like objects. Then you can complain, and you can't complain that the game is bad because guess what? That game has a right to be made. There's going to be an audience that wants to see, like, you know, stereotypical characters. However, you don't have to buy it. You can be like, screw this. This game is stupid. It's uneducated. Like that's like if I saw a game that was like treating women, like if it treated women as sex objects, like the Dead or Alive games, or you know where they're just like big boobies, bouncing boobies, you know, whatever, girls in scantily clad clothes. I would just think, what the hell are all like? This is a less educated game. That's what I would think. That's actually what I would honestly think. I wouldn't think, oh, they need to like make the women. Now I think it'd be more interesting if you had like you know. But then again, you're just stereotyping an educated woman. Then if you start like, you make like the girl with glasses or something. It's like,
I mean, if you get mad about a girl with scantily clad clothes and boobs sticking out, and say that you're putting out a bad image for girls to want to aspire to or something like that. It's a game. Why are you trying to aspire to a game? I mean, does that mean that guys should be badasses in the military like Call of Duty and go around shooting people like crazy because they'll just respawn anyway? Or should I be working on my electric powers like Second Son or something? I mean, that's just dumb. Like, it's a game.
I think what should happen is if you think that these female characters in these games are like bad influences, or they're giving a bad example, they're not good role models for your child, then you should tell your child, you know what, don't play that crappy game, and explain to them why it's a crappy game. Like explain to them, like, you want to know why this game sucks? Because the way they make women look. And you tell your kid, if you have a daughter, be like, you're more than just boobies. You're more than just an affirmative action statistic. You're more than just, oh, there had to be a number of women as a lead character in this game. Like that, you're also devaluing, the character. You're not like example.
You're also devaluing girls that like to show their boobies. I mean, like a swimsuit model, is she less of a woman because she being a swimsuit model?
I mean, it's her. I wouldn't say it's her choice. At the end of the day. Now, if she's like, there's a difference. There's a difference between like rape and death threats. And what I'm trying to say is, these guys who sit these death threats, I'm gonna tell you right now, you guys out there who sit those death threats, you're assholes, man. Like, come on, dude. Like, I get it. It's funny. You might even try to be trolling, but come on, man. Like, leave the person alone.
I'm not gonna knock it and just say that there was no merit behind it, because you never know. It might be some crazy person. Maybe it wasn't even a game. How do you even know it was a gamer? You know what I mean? It doesn't actually say, P.S. I'm a gamer or anything like that in there.
Yeah.
Apparently, it just says they're gonna kill her. But I mean, my initial thought is, it's fucking trolls, you know. Those guys that just say whatever they want to say because of the anonymity of the internet, and they have to take it seriously, I guess. I mean, I don't know, but you don't just go about your life normally when you receive a death threat. You're gonna pay attention, you know.
Yeah,
but more than likely that's what it was, right? Just some internet troll.
I mean, I would like to say that, but the truth is like. You even on the internet, man, you are a human being. I know that you're anonymous in a sense, but you are a human being. Have some, you know, like, come on, man. Like, the woman has a right to fucking say if she thinks there need to be more women in characters. If she wants to write editorials to fucking game development, she has the right to do that. She does. But you don't have the right to threaten her life. You really don't have that right. Now you have the universe.
Those guys that did that. Well, what I'm saying, those guys that did that. They're the ones that gave her a platform now. Like, nobody would have ever heard of her if she was just writing in her basement about having more women video games, and then, you know, all of this attention from the media for that kind of stuff.
You made her, yeah, exactly. Guy who sent her death threats. Guess what you did? You made her the victim. That's the problem, and that's what she wants. She wanted to be. Women were the victims. You know, like that's why she started this thing. Like, oh, women are victims of male-dominated gamers. Well, guess what? If men would have stood up and said, "You're not a victim. We hear you. You have every right to speak," and they would have supported her. They didn't have to agree with her, but they would have supported her right to life. They would have supported her as a human being, as a fucking person who has the right to free speech. You know, and then said, "Well, you know what? We still believe though that, you know, games are whatever they are. Like, they shouldn't be forced either way. You shouldn't have force at all." But by threatening her life, you did make, like you said, yeah, you made her the victim now. So now she, you know, you turned her into a victim.
Along this line of thread of thinking, I'm beginning to wonder. I mean, forgive me, but part of me is thinking, well, shoot, maybe she made herself famous. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, but that's speculation. We won't go into that. I mean, if you're conspiracy minded, it might be a fun thought. Like, for me, the point is that here's my view on it, and I'm going to try to make this as eloquent as possible, because I think it is a serious topic, not necessarily about gender. Regardless of he or she or whatever, this person is a person. And
yes,
when you're online, number one, when you are online, you have to remember people are going to fuck with you. You have to also have the knowledge to know that people will hack you. People will fuck with you if they can. They want to. Because that's just how certain people are. That's also real life. If you walk out in the street, there are people just going to fucking hurt you. They don't give a fuck about you, and they're going to do that. Is it right? No. I mean, I'll be serious. It's not right. It's stupid. Because, you know, there's more important things in life than this social bullshit of always, like, messing with each other. Go fucking find something else to do with your life instead of worrying about fucking with other people all the fucking time. And that goes for her, too. Find something else to do with your life than fucking worrying about gamers and the lack of females, because guess what? There are a shitload of positive female role models in games. You can play any fucking, like, Final Fantasy game, there's going to be female characters who are vital, important characters to the story, to the game, and they're not just cliche, oh, woe is me, damsel in distresses. They're fucking, like, characters. They're wizards. They're badass they're characters. They're not women or men. They're human. They're creatures with human qualities that we feel empathy for, and any gamer will. It's like, if it's designed well. So really, you should tell game developers to design better characters, not design them as women, not design, because what does that even mean? You know what I mean? Like, do you want like the weird, like, you wrote a game around like this badass, and by badass I mean like smoking cigar, like the stereotypical fucking male, like smoking cigars, lifting weights, slapping girls on their butt, driving fast cars, and then change it to a girl with the same qualities, and then what? You know, it's like you didn't do anything. You just, I don't believe. I feel like I'm losing my thought here. I don't believe in force. You don't force a gender down anyone's throat. You just make a good character. I guarantee that person who wrote this, go play the new Tomb Raider. And while that game did have, you know, the beginnings was, she was Lara Croft had like big boobies and whatever. Because you gotta remember, gamers were lonely nerds back in the day. It wasn't a big market back then. They were guys who sat there who never got laid. And you know, this is like, it was fantasy. These guys were like, I want her to look like how I want a girl to look. And it's like, it's And artists have been doing that for centuries.
Well,
you could look at fucking
honestly,
sculpture.
Well, honestly, back then the graphics were so bad that if they didn't give her like noticeable breasts, you wouldn't know it was a girl. You'd think it's some dude running around with a ponytail. If you could even figure out it was a ponytail, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I mean, back then that makes sense because otherwise they weren't gonna know it was a girl.
I mean, you shouldn't
Why is this
want.
dude's name Laura?
Yeah, you shouldn't want gender to matter at all, female or male. That's
the way I look at
my look at it. Is that it shouldn't matter at all, because guess what? There's so many fucking terrible stereotypes about males that you find in game design. All the big muscles, like apparently the ideal man is like, you know, this big muscle, like just guy who runs his mouth, who doesn't have a fucking brain in his body, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I don't know how many freaking guys are just like, I'm the guy, and it's like, oh my god, like I don't care, dude. Like, you're an asshole. Like,
So you can either look at it as games. These games are like having a negative impact on brainwashing your kids or yourself as a grown up, or maybe it's just a game.
and
know?
you should teach your kid, like, and this is the argument for any media, any entertainment. Explain to your, like, if a game is sexist, which they do exist. You play games that are just sexist and raunchy and sophomoric. Explain to your kid, or have the knowledge of yourself, and you know what? Get on the internet and write a blog about it, and explain to people, your market base, why it's a stupid game.
I would say that game has its own market. You know, I mean, there's games I don't like because for whatever aspect of it I don't like. But if, you know, there's other guys that like that game. That sexist game or whatever. There doesn't have to be so PC that everybody likes a game. I think there might be some guy out there that likes that game. That game has a right to exist, and someone that likes it has a right to like it. Yeah. I choose not to like it, so that's fine. You know, as long as we can.
That woman, she has a right to exist. She has a right to make her statement, just like the game itself is a statement about gender. She has a right to complain about it. She has every right to fucking say that she needs more female role models and she wants them this way. But no one has a right to try to take away her existence. And that's the line. And that's where I'll draw the line. And I'll say to the guys out there, and no matter what, you can disagree with her all you want. And you know what? Just write the developers too. Just tell developers you don't agree with her. But guess what? You do not have a right to threaten her life. Even if you're trolling her, you don't have a right to do that. And just like she doesn't have a right to actually force developers to make female. Like, she can suggest all she wants. She can sit there and sit on her ladder and cry to the masses that they need more positive female role models. She has that right. And you have the right to tell her that she's stupid, but you don't have a right to threaten her life. She has a right to exist. Exactly. You just said, just like the game has a right to exist as what it is. The point here, the key here is not if we agree with her stance. The key here is we should, as people, understand everything has a right to exist until they start taking away other people's existence. Like, you know, a murderer. Like, if you're trying to go around trying to kill people, you don't have a right to exist anymore because you're trying to take away everyone else's right to exist. You have to take away the lowest bad, the worst bad.
Yeah.
And that's morality 101.
If you disagree with her, stop giving her a platform, paying attention to her, stop watching her content, stop. You know, the only way she has any kind of stance to say something is if people are actually listening to what she's saying. Yeah. So stop listening to it.
Or proudly disagree, because here's the thing: there's a lot of people who are in the gamer who are quote unquote the gamers themselves, who disagree and say we didn't give her death threats. They're saying it was some idiot, because that's what it is. Yeah. And that goes to the media. It's not game. Quit stereotyping. Quit grouping people together because it's good headlines. It's good business. Yeah. It's called creating your market. And you got to remember, when this tells you that
trying to make that because they know people are going to read it.
Well, this tells you that the media is business, because the first sign that business has infiltrated your life is when you start organizing things in categories. When you start saying, oh, I'm an 18 to 24-year-old. I'm a tween. It's like, that's business speak. That's when someone's saying, you're not the individual person. You are now a market. You are an 18 to 24-year-old male. You're a gamer. You're a consumer. That's business terms. So as soon as the media says gamer, that's because the media knows that that's business. People reckon their headlines are business. You don't say a woman was, you know, threatened by another person. That's boring. You say a woman was threatened by gamers for being a gamer. It's like whoa. It's like that's what's happening. Really, it's
signed the gamers, or I don't understand. You know,
like because the real headline is person takes a stance about females in video games, and some crazy asshole or assholes, a small group of them, decided they were going to threaten her life. That's the headline, and everyone goes, well, why would? And then they go, well, why would they threaten her life? Oh, because they're all gamers. And they don't like, you know, their games are precious. I go, no, because they're fucking crazy people who don't understand the way the world works, or they're trolls. You know, they think they're being cool. Because I guarantee you, there are guys out there who agree with us who disagree with her. They're like, you know, we think women should, you know, that woman shouldn't say. We disagree with her, but we also don't think she should be threatened. You know.
Yeah, we're the majority
gamers.
here with that. Yeah. I think the majority of gamers agree. Like, you know, with what you just said. I don't really care for her stance, but I mean, I'm not going to threaten her life. She can think whatever she wants to think, and I can think whatever I want to think.
Exactly. I mean, a great example is the fact that we do this show at all, the Ordinary Gamer Show, is because we're just average dudes who just have opinion on video games and stuff that we like. And that's anyone with access to the internet nowadays anyways. You have your Instagram to show your opinion on your food or your outfits. You have your Facebook to blast your opinion, especially during election year, to all your friends who hate you. It's like, but you have that right. And we also have the right to disagree and ignore you. We don't have to give one damn what you say. You know, that woman has every right to say what she wants. She can sit there and she can petition game developers all she wants. We don't have to agree with her. But she has that right. Now, if she started sending death threats to game developers, then she would look like she's crazy. You get that? You see that? You see how it changes so quickly? She's not just a nuisance. She's now the crazy one. So the guy who sends death threats to her, you look crazy. Like, you look like, and you're not helping anybody. And I don't think you wanted to help anybody. You just wanted attention. You just wanted to be the guy who did something so extreme, or the girl. It could even be a girl who sent her death threat. We don't know. Like,
yeah, that's sexist to say that it was a guy.
it's sexist to say it's a guy just because, you know, it's about gender. Believe me, there are women out there who are not feminists. You know, once again, that's grouping. Like, it's everyone's individual opinion. You know, this woman may have a feminist slant on things, but I know plenty of women who are not feminists. They just don't agree with it. Now, does that mean that they're not women? No. But, you know, you would love to say that. You would love to say, you know, blah, blah, blah. Just like there are plenty of gamers who disagree with her, but are they sexist? No.
No.
They just disagree, and they just happen to play games. These categories have nothing to do with the real fact here. The reality is out there, people, media, all you people just want to say this bullshit. The reality is that it was just a couple of assholes. Might even have been it's a couple of assholes in the relative sense of statistics. Like, the majority, like you said, the majority of quote-unquote gamers, the majority of people out there who happen to play games will have their opinion, but they won't send her death threats because they also understand the way the world works, the way the internet works. People can just say whatever the fuck they want to say. The responsibility is on you to teach your kids bad information, to teach your kids that you're receiving bad information. And bad information, once again, is also relative. I guarantee you there's Christians, fundamental Christians out there who think, you know, anything on evolution is bad information. And that's their right to teach their kid that. Everyone has a right, man. The line though is everyone has the right to exist. But we got so political here. Let's lighten the load a bit. Like, I want to talk about. Sorry, go ahead.
Go for it.
No. By all means, if you got something great to say, because I have nothing fantastic to ever say. I just kind of speak gibberish.
Just go ahead, dude. I'll add on to whatever you're talking about.
All right. Speaking of feminism and politics and media, Telltale Games is creating a new IP where apparently they're giving Minecraft the story mode, but it's going to be in the Telltale way where you have like options and choices. And are you excited about this? Does that sound interesting to you? Are you curious at how this will pan out?
I'm curious, but I'm wondering. but I haven't looked into it enough. But I'm wondering, is it a made like Minecraft? Like, can you walk around and build stuff and play the story whenever you feel like it, or is it like The Walking Dead Telltale stuff, where it's a kind of a linear experience, and it's not really like that's not really Minecraft. That's a Telltale game. You know what
Telltale
I mean?
game. Yeah. If that like here it goes, I agree with you completely that it depends on which way they're going to go, because because Minecraft is not made because it's Minecraft. People, I mean, now maybe some people like the Minecraft design, the little 8-bit kind of fucking, you know, cubic design. I get that. But Minecraft is made because it's a creative game. People play Minecraft because you can do whatever you want. You can do electrical engineering in the game. You can do all of these like strange things. It's a creative game. Whereas if they added a story mode to that, I think that would only just make Minecraft just better, because Telltale does make good story-based games. I will say they do. Now, if you're just using the Minecraft franchise, you're using the Minecraft artwork, but then, like you said, making it into a Telltale game, I'm not so excited about that. Like, I have no desire.
Done, you know? It's been done. I mean,
well,
Walking Dead is great. It was a great game. And they've done other great games, you know, but it's been done. So you add Minecraft now, like, and then the weird part about that is too that maybe that is a different aspect now that I think about it, because like The Walking Dead only had you know, a premise, an idea. You know, you knew some of the characters from previous areas or some of the areas. And Game of Thrones, obviously, you know, it already had an established base. But Minecraft doesn't have any kind of even semi-story to it. You know what I mean?
It was a guy named Steve, but that's about it. I mean, my thing about it is, to me, it just feels like Microsoft bought Minecraft for $1 billion, and they said, now how can we license the hell out of this to make art, to make our money back? Like, to me, it just
Man,
reeks.
That's it. That's perfect. That's what it was right there. You just hit it on. You hit the nail on the head right there.
And that's what I don't like, because Minecraft is very sacred to a lot of people. Because guess what? That game was purchased for $1 billion. That should tell you its worth to the gaming community. People love Minecraft. And I know these people who love Minecraft. And some people are fanboys, and some people just love playing it. Like, they're not even fanboys. They just love the game. But they love Minecraft because they love playing Minecraft. They don't love the term Minecraft. They don't love the look of Minecraft. They love the gameplay.
They're not gonna buy it just because it says Minecraft on the front of it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's like, you know, there's gonna be good lord, there's gonna be tons of Minecraft toys. Microsoft, what they're doing is they're just, to me, well, but then again, like I said, if Telltale goes the other way, and really they just kind of give you the Minecraft game, but with this extra bit of story, that doesn't seem to me so much as kind of like milking. That doesn't seem like milking the franchise. No. That seems like they're creating a new experience.
This is what I would want. I would want, like, if you own Minecraft already, you can download the Telltale DLC story. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
then get on your game and play the story in Minecraft. That's what I would want. I would buy that.
$20 a new, you know, or hell, not even $20. Just buy, base it per episode, like you're probably going to do. Yeah, I agree. I would totally, because that would just enhance Minecraft. But it would not be using Minecraft. I don't want to see Minecraft used because you want to make your $1 billion back or whatever. Like, I want to see Minecraft enhanced.
Make your own game, and basically you'd be making your own game, your own thing, and just putting the Minecraft name in the front of it. That's all that is. You know?
Like, otherwise, sorry,
that's what the Walking Dead is too. To be honest, Telltale Games, Walking Dead. That's what that is. They made their own game around the same universe and put the Walking Dead's name on it. But it was a good game. It was new and it was different.
Well,
but
it also made sense because if you ever, I don't mean to cut you off, and I'm so sorry, but it also made sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it made sense, but there wasn't already a game that everybody was playing for the Walking Dead. You know what I mean? There wasn't a Walking Dead game. That's the Walking Dead. Minecraft is its own game. You can't make a game about a game and not have it be the same game. Does that make sense? If that makes
No,
any sense.
I completely agree with what you're saying because
Please.
we're talking about gameplay. Minecraft is big because of its gameplay. Because Minecraft is,
Exactly.
I mean, it's a creative game, and when you can do whatever you want. I mean, you can make electrical grids. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, and also just build like a boat if you want. Like, you can do whatever you want. It's a creative game. And to go with what you said about Walking Dead, yeah, they use the Walking Dead franchise, but Walking Dead has always been a story. It's a story. I mean, the graphic novels were based on their story. It's like,
Yeah.
so you're just enhancing, once again, what it already is. It's a story. Walking Dead is a story. You're enhancing the story. Minecraft is not a story. Minecraft is the experience of creativity. You're not enhancing that if you just use it to create a Telltale game. But you will be enhancing it if you add a Telltale game to Minecraft. Otherwise,
Yes.
otherwise, this is what we like to call synergy, where you're just putting two brands together to make what you think is the ultimate brand. Because Telltale is a very popular, successful story game, company, and then Minecraft, of course, worth $1 billion, according to Microsoft. You're just trying to make synergy here. And when I hear the word synergy, I think, oh, you're just trying to do the business crap. You're doing the business polka on us, poor saps. That we're just gonna be like, oh, I like anything Minecraft, and we just, like, that's how I feel, and I don't like being treated that way. I like to be treated as somewhat of a human being, not just some idiot with money who's just gonna throw it at you. But
Yeah. Just because you put Minecraft on the front of a game.
yeah, well, it's synergy. It's just brand. It's combining your brands. You're just
We talked about it before, but that's exactly what Resident Evil did wrong. They just made a completely different game and smacked Resident Evil on the front of it, and they suffered for it. So I hope Telltales and Microsoft both are really thinking about what they're making, what they're doing, because if they make that mistake, they're gonna drag Minecraft through the mud.
Yeah, I think businesses, they think. Well, there's going to be a collector's market. There's going to be a market for the toyetics of games, for the designs. And so when they build a game, they don't just build a game. They build the T-shirts. They build the websites.
Toys.
Sometimes they make it movies. They have TV shows based on this stuff. But they don't.
No,
but you got to.
It's material things like movies, or not movies. I'm sorry. Action figures, T-shirts. Those are the things that make them a lot of money. It costs 50 cents, 25 cents to make a T-shirt, and they go off and sell them for $10, $15. That's where they make their money. That's what they want to do. And that's fine, I guess. But I guess maybe that's why they're trying to make a story for Minecraft, so that you can say, oh, well, I got this character. That then you want to buy each character, spend more money.
Yeah, like that's what they're doing. They're just trying to make the money, but they're forgetting the one fundamental principle of business, of markets. Rarity increases value. So when you do what you do with Resident Evil, where you slap it on everything, while you're getting great brand awareness, and while you're milking your cash cow brand, you're devaluing your brand over a long period of time. Where now Resident Evil has no value to anybody. Like, now when you say we got a new Resident Evil game, people go, who gives a shit? Like, that's why people want new IPs. Like, no, they just said we got the new Resident Evil game. That's and I'm like, I don't care. I love Resident Evil. I love Resident Evil 2. When I grew up, they were rare. And then, then of course they had the lunch boxes. They had the Resident Evil books, the novels, little novellas, and I loved it. I ate it up. But now I don't give one damn. I don't give one shit about Resident Evil.
They saturated their market.
They saturated it, yeah.
Bad mistakes in games also.
I agree. And rarity, guys in business out there, this is why Naughty Dog, we always talk about them. I'm bringing them back again every show, why they're so great. They understand this principle. Rarity creates value. That's why they don't just make tons of the same game. They don't make Last of Us everything. What they do is they do the basics. They make a Last of Us game. They'll have some T-shirts, and they might have a Last of Us graphic novel, and they'll have Last of Us toys or action figures. And the thing is, those are all one market. That is the gamer market. Gamer market is not just gamers. Gamer market is people who read the graphic novels. They read animes. In a general sense. They don't make Last of Us coffee mugs, Last of Us TV sets. They don't do like Call of Duty, where they have a Call of Duty Jeep, a Black Ops Jeep. Like, they're not whoring themselves out. They're making value and they're becoming the most dominant game company based on their IPs because their rarity creates value.
The rarity, they don't put out Uncharted games every year. You ask a guy that owns a PlayStation which game they're more excited for, Assassin's Creed or Uncharted 4. And I promise you 4 out of 5 are going to be Uncharted 4 because we've already played Assassin's Creed last year and the year before that and the year before that.
Yeah.
It's not I sat down and I played it until I beat it.
And now you're guaranteed. Yeah, and every time that Naughty Dog releases a new game, it's guaranteed to be a bestseller. It seems like because they don't saturate it. Like I guarantee you, Uncharted 4 is gonna just millions of dollars in the first week. It's probably gonna sell 10 million worldwide in the release in the first week of release. You know, huge numbers. Like it just doesn't care. Like. Because it's rare.
10 million copies, right? That's what you're saying. 10 million copies.
Yeah, 10 million copies. It'll probably sell 10 million units worldwide. And I'm talking downloads and stuff. People are just gonna eat it because they know, because guess what? Naughty Dog has already established this value. So as you see that their value increases every game now. So when they create the next game, everyone's just gonna eat it up. They're gonna be like, we just already know it's gonna be good, even if it's not that good. We're not gonna believe it's not. You know what I mean? I think gamers are gonna be like, no, it's good. Even if there were problems with the game, we're not gonna be objective because we already love these companies. You know.
Well, even most games, they come out and if you're really excited for it, it's awesome. But then eventually revisionist history takes effect, and when you look back at it, you're like, well, it was okay. It was mediocre. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or a perfect example is Wind Waker. When Wind Waker first came out, people were pissed. They were like, "This is not Zelda. This is not a Zelda." Blah blah blah. It doesn't look like Zelda. It doesn't. They hated it. And then later on, with revisionist history, that was an awesome game. That was really an awesome game. And then it went down as to some people one of the best Zeldas ever made. But it'll be the same thing with. Naughty Dog, but I would say that their games, when I first played Uncharted 2, I was like, this is the best game I've ever played. It was great. And then I went back later on, and over time, I was like, oh, it was a pretty good game. I can't say it was the best game I ever played, but it was pretty good. It's up there. It's a great game. I have yet to play a Naughty Dog game where I'm like, afterwards, after the luster of it wears off and time passes, I have never played one where I thought, well, actually that game kind of sucked.
Yeah.
I've always thought they put out good games.
What that tells me is they put out good games. To me, what defines a great game is what you just said, where you can always go back to it and you go, even if you go, this is a really good game or it's a good game. You might not say it's a great game, but it's good everywhere and every time. That's an impressive thing. Metal Gear Solid to me is a great game because I can go back and play it on PS1, the same graphics, and even though games have changed, gameplay has changed, I'll still say this is a great game because it's never bad. You know what I mean? It's always good on all levels, and it holds up in its own way. It's good. It was good for its time, and it's what we call timeless, and that's what greatness is. Because great is a relative term. But if you want to quantify great means it's good. It'll never fail. I went back and played Uncharted 3 a couple months ago, and replaying I was like, this game is just great. It's just great. I could not hate it. I was having fun again. I was remembering the story again. I was enjoying the dialogue again. I mean, Last of Us, of course. Every time I play that, I'm just like, what the hell? This is great. A great game is when the gameplay never feels dated, and it you know what I mean.
Metroid's one of my favorite games.
Oh, have you ever played Metroid Prime on GameCube?
Oh yeah.
That's a great game. That's a great game. I think that's that's an underrated game because nobody ever brings it up. But Metroid Prime to me was a great game. Every time I played it, it was, and even if I go back and play it, it's good. It's solid. There's no real flaws.
In the gamer community, I wonder how those games rank? The games, the Metroid games on the Wii? Because I thought they were really good. I mean, Other M I never played, so I've heard that it wasn't great. But all the other ones, Metroid, the Prime 1, 2, and 3, I think it was, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Those were really good games. I enjoyed them a lot. I thought they were really fun, and I played through 1 and 2, I think 2 or 3 times. I beat it all the way.
I just think games need to remember, innovation makes new marketplaces, and rarity creates value. And if you can do both together, you've created a valuable marketplace. Think about that. That's what you got to do. But I'm not trying to go on Naughty Dog. We were talking about Minecraft. Minecraft it has value because of its meaning to people. And when you start just doing that, you're killing what is your market, which is Minecraft is meaningful. Do not just whore it out because you want to make money. You got to maintain how meaningful it is to a gamer. Same with Resident Evil. They hoard it out and it means nothing now. People, if you ask people, you like Resident Evil, they go, I like Resident Evil 1, I like Resident Evil 2. They might like Resident Evil 3. And that's it. That's it. They don't say they like Resident Evil. They'll remember their favorite Resident Evil.
Now Resident Evil 4.
Resident Evil 4. Where's Resident Evil 4? Yeah, Resident Evil 4. But that changed it in a good way. But they hoard that out now, and that was the problem. I think you just can't hoard your stuff out. You gotta draw back a little bit and give a shit and say, you should be a little arrogant about your games. You should say, no, we're gonna put out one and we're gonna do just the basics in marketing, and we're gonna let it be what it is.
And work on it and it slowly and put out another one later. 2, 3, 4 years down the road, not every year. Where you can't put out a 100-hour game every year and expect people to play that all the time. I mean, how can you'd have to just play that game for the majority of the year, only for the next one to play that. People aren't going to do that. Well, the average person or the ordinary gamer isn't going to do that. They're going to play other. They're going to want more than one experience, unless you're and I won't knock you if you're a guy that enjoys just Assassin's Creed. Then that's great, but if you're a guy that just enjoys Call of Duty every year, that's great too. I used to be one of those guys, but that's not going to keep that market afloat. That's not going to keep that game afloat, because the majority of people are going to want to play other games, and they're not going to keep trying to invest money in a game that it's the same game every year. It's just a little different, but the gameplay, that amount of time that you have to invest in it, it's too much. It's too high, and you already have 2 that you haven't even beat yet. I have 3 Assassin's Creeds that I haven't even beat yet, and I mean, they're okay. I consider them mediocre, but they're not really worth my time to go back through and invest that much time in beating them. I'd rather play, Destiny or some other game that I like. I just bought Wolfenstein finally. I've been working on that. You can't put out a game every year and saturate your market and expect that to continue forever. It's not going to continue forever.
I wonder when Daisy sees other
but it can
here, if she longs
if you hold off, if you just wait and remind people after a couple years, every 3, as weird as it sounds, I'm not trying to mathematically do it, but every 2 to 3 years it's new again, because there are all these options, like you just said. Gamers are playing other things, and then they come back to your thing, and they're like, oh yeah, like Assassin's Creed 3. If it would have come out, if Assassin's Creed 3 came out now, can you imagine how much hype there would have been for that game, considering how great Assassin's Creed 2 was? If Assassin's Creed 3 came out now for PS4, Xbox One, whatever, people would have lost their shit for that game. That would have been the biggest game of the year, I guarantee. Because Assassin's Creed 2 was so great. But no, they hoard it out. Hold off just a bit. Or maybe even Assassin's Creed 4. You know what I mean? Even if you just did, I wouldn't say...
Assassin's Creed 4 was considered a pretty solid game, actually, as far as...
I wouldn't say 4. I mean, Assassin's Creed without all the little ones in between, Revelations. I mean, if you would have just only had 3 games total. That's what I mean. Just 3 games total, 4 games total. There's 9 of them. I don't mean or there's 10 of them. I don't mean that many. I mean 3 total. it would have been huge. But we're getting close to the final minute here. Before we go out, we did actually play the Battlefield Hardline Beta. The Hardline Beta. I don't know why I don't use a space there. It makes it sound like it's one title. What did you actually think? You said you don't like the dots, whatever. But what did you think overall? If we're gonna give it a quick review.
I won't review it. I didn't like it enough to play it through to give an honest opinion on it. To be honest, I think what we could do. Did you like it? Did you like the game? Was it okay?
For those of you who ever play Battlefield, it's a Battlefield game. And if you
did you like it though?
Yeah, but not enough to buy it first day. That's one of those like I'll get it $20.
What we could do is you say what you like about it, and I'll tell you what I don't like about it, and that way it's not completely unfair to the game because honestly I'm not a Battlefield game player, so I don't think it'd be fair for me to just bash it.
Okay, well you can go first.
I don't like that EA made it. I don't like that you had to create a user account to play a game when you already are playing a game on a console that already has the user account. That seems asinine to me. I don't like the push to be going to use your computer to go to their website when you already got a game that should have everything in it when you buy it. And I didn't like the mechanics seem okay to me, but the world seems too big. Like I said, they should look at the way people are going to play their game. I kept getting shot by guys that are like prone about a block and a half away, and they're killing me. And literally on my screen, they look like a dot. I don't have a huge screen. I have a 32-inch screen, but it's not a small screen either. And they were a dot on my screen. The reason I found out that they were the ones shooting at me is occasionally I finally saw a few bullets where they were shooting in my direction, and that's what killed me. And I don't want to play a game like that where they're just going to be prone in the corner, shooting you from a block and a half away. I mean, those guys didn't even have sniper rifles. They had auto rifles, and they were killing me with them. And that was a huge turn off for me. That was the point where I was like, I'm not going to do this. And that's it. You're good.
I like the Battlefield games because there's still a part of me that's a little boy and likes to play with guns, I guess you could say. You know, video games that still have, like, guns. I enjoy Battlefield 3, but it's only fun with friends. Like, so, I'll say Battlefield Hardline, I enjoyed the squad thing, you know, I enjoyed that aspect of it. I enjoyed it simply because it's Battlefield, and I know what I'll get if I want it. Does that make sense? I don't know if I'll buy it. Like, if enough of my friends buy it, I hate saying this, but it's one of those games that if enough of my friends are like, I'm gonna get Battlefield, then I'll probably like, okay, I'll get Battlefield. But for me personally, because it's just another Battlefield game, there's nothing really special about it. Yeah, you tried to change it with cops and robbers, but it doesn't change the game. I mean, come on, man. Like, it doesn't change the game. Like, the game is still the game. You put a new skin on it, but it doesn't make it, you know, the game, you're still shooting the gun, you're still whatever, you know. So, yeah. I didn't hate it, but it's an average game. It's an average what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. That's how I'll describe it.
Alright.
Well, alright. Everybody, that was the Ordinary Gamer Show today, along with, let me restart this because I am completely trying to kill a monster. I don't know what I'm saying. I am EC Rooster, along with Foe Ender. Please call him Ender. Don't call him Foe if you meet him online. He complains to me about it. I hate hearing him complain. It's so annoying on my end. But call him Ender. Of TheOrdinaryGamer.com. You can always check out our reviews. You can always watch this broadcast on twitch.tv/EC_Rooster. You can always find it, always find it on TheOrdinaryGamer.com and on our YouTube channel of The Ordinary Gamer. You can follow us on Twitter at TheOrdinaryGamer01. And that's, once again, guys, well, I guess that's it for today. We're The Ordinary Gamer, ordinary guys with extraordinary opinion. And have a good day.
Have a good one.